Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. For some strange reason, my mower has come up to this point right here and then stopped. And it's also left a chunk of land behind over there, and I'm not quite sure why it's done that either. But both seem to be a rather peculiar thing to go and do. But anyway, regardless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one over here. I'm just going to sort of wiggle it round and straighten it up, and we will see if we can get it mowing again. I'm hoping that it will. I don't see any reason why it won't. There's no logical explanation as to why it wouldn't do it. It should just keep going. There we go. So trotting off down through there, and hopefully it's not going to come to grief with that bale there. Nope. No grief encountered with the bale. So that one's going to keep going there. We are going to skip back up to the top and continue on with our stump grinding. And just get rid of the last of the stumps up there. As soon as I've just made sure that this one does indeed do his proper turnaround down here. Because, yeah. I don't know why he stopped up there. That just seems to be a very peculiar thing to go and do. But anyway, he's turning round. So that's the important thing. As long as he's turning round. And we want to go to this one right here. Get that one up like that. And let's start stump grinding. So I think I kind of understand the numbers. Patrio explained them this morning before I started recording. Is to do with... I don't know, there's two numbers there. Something to do with the remove tree or remove part or something. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but there's two numbers there, and you need to alter both of these numbers. I can't remember exactly what they're called now, so I'm gonna have to go in and have a look at it. But that's generally the idea. Is I'm gonna go and have a look at these numbers, see if they're right, and I'm hoping that they are. See if I can find the right ones, that is, and then I should be able to just carry on from there. Not quite sure, but anyway. All we're going to do is we're going to finish doing this bit up here. And then once we've finished doing the stump grinding bit up here, we're then going to go and we're going to need to level this area out. Now, it shouldn't be too difficult. I've only really got to level the areas that I've already gone and tinkered with anyway. So I don't need to, as far as I can tell. I'm not going to need to do any leveling work to any of the rest of it, which means that all the bits with the grass and the shrubs and the bushes and stuff like that, they're going to stay pretty much as they are. We're not going to need to interfere with them in the slightest, which is good. That's one thing that I do want to do, because when you're ploughing, it's actually quite cool not having to worry about those. So we'll just bring this one back up here and get that one there. I'm not quite sure what plough I want to use. Now, I know that we've used the cultivator up until this point, and I'm sort of thinking I don't really want to use the cultivator to do this, or at least not that cultivator. I want to use a different cultivator if we're going to use one. But which one? That bit I'm not quite sure of. So we're definitely going to need to use one somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure which one I want to use. Let's just chop that bit out there, and then come back up here. Oh, and I've got the Global Mod Company thing. I got that one working again. And if you do Control G, no, Alt G, no. Did I left control? Oh. You've got to be out of the vehicle in order to be able to do it. So you go to here, and you've got this bit right here, and then we've got this here that's invalid mod. Yeah, see, that's basically things. And you got activate extended placeable. Now, the thing with you can cut bales, show object info, that sort of thing. So when you go and look at things, it gives you more information. Extended placeable is the place anywhere mod. But I did notice that with the Global Mod Company, even with the mod thing active, it wasn't showing up as many tree stumps on the map as it did without it there. There were some trees that it was allowing It was sort of allowing you to modify the terrain underneath some trees, and even though I didn't have that bit active, and that seemed a little bit odd. I wasn't quite sure why it was doing that. So that's why I ended up disabling it, although I didn't know about that menu bit. That menu, and yes, I know people have told me, Smoodelini in particular, he told me a couple of weeks ago, he said, or a week ago, or whenever it was, but in my defense, it was more than 2 hours ago, so chances are I will have forgotten. And I'm sticking by that defense. I'm absolutely sticking with that defense. If it's more than 2 hours ago, you cannot expect me to remember. It's just the way things are. You need to accept this, and nothing's going to change that. Doesn't matter how much you squeal, nothing's going to change that. If it's more than 2 hours ago, then I very likely won't remember it. I mean, I do remember some things. There are some things I remember, but just not everything. Now we'll just do that down there, and that should be the very last one. I'm hoping. I think we now have the very last tree stump. Now, I need to jump out of the tractor to do this, don't I? And then I can go there. I'm going to activate that. I'm going to keep that one active on here. So let's go and take a little drive through the trees over here. Have a little look around. And it's looking pretty good at the moment. So, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this extra stump grinder that I went and purchased. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and restore the land to how it was previously. So I'm going to need to get that stump grinder there just picked up and moved. The store will come along and fetch this stump grinder. So we'll unhitch that one there. That is the Percy, the temporary one. And then we will go back and we will get a more permanent stump grinder. It will be this one, and I will just simply alter this one correctly, how it's supposed to be altered, and then everything and everyone should be all happy and tickety-boo. So I'm just going to park that one there. And then I'm going to go into here to garage. And no, actually, I'm not going to do that yet, because you get a little bit more if you actually sell it at the shop. So we're going to click on Percy over there, and we're going to reset Percy to the shop like that. And then we're going to double check this dude over here. He's doing a wonderful job rocking down through the field here. And it's the only downside is the bales do drift slightly into the grass, don't they? But there's not a lot that we can do about that. And I don't think it's like a major issue. There, we've got that bit, and then he's going to go out round and turn, and we're getting a nice lot of bales out of this field. It's got to be said. Nice lot of bales turning up. Going to get a decent yield out of this. Right, well, that one can carry on and do that. I'm going to skip off of here, and we're going to jump into the tractor for the shop, the shop tractor. And I'm just going to bring that back over here. And we're going to put this one back in the shed. This is what we're doing, is we're taking it over. We're going to put it into the workshop over here, so that the bloke that works here at the shop is able to check it over and just make sure everything's all right, and then can decide how much. And then the manager will then take a look at the report and decide how much he's going to offer us for said machine. So we'll just go and park that one over there like that, and then we can go back over here and we can see now the manager's report. How much is he going to offer us? He is offering us 2,165. You know what? I think I'm going to accept that offer. I'm going to accept it. There we go. And then I'm going to go start landscaping. So I don't want to landscape here. I want to landscape back at home. So I'm going to go over this way. May have taken a wrong turn. Right there. Where's home? Ah, there's home. Right. No, that's not home. I don't want to go that way. Oh. Where am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be going this way, I think. There we go. Right, I found it. There. Here is home. Home sweet home. We've got a bit of grass there and a bit of grass there. The rest of it we can mostly ignore. We've got these patches to do over here. Now, the way that I'm going to do this, best way that I've found for doing this, because we did already sort of do a little bit, is increase brush strength to... So you go Control E, and that increases the brush strength all the way up to 3, which is maximum. And then increase the size of it as well, like that. And then just use the middle button feature, which kind of smooths things out a little bit. It's not perfect on here, and I am altering some additional land while I do this. But not a great deal, and it does smooth things out very nicely. And you can see here we're moving quite a bit of land around as I do it. Maybe there's a little bit more movement going on here than we would like, and I can definitely say that there is a bit more movement going on than I would like, because I've already gone and spent all of the money. The money is all gone. And I've gone and spent too much. I definitely want more money than this. In order to do this properly, I want more money. I'm going to want, probably... Hang on, I want to go to this one. Given how much we've done, let's go over and have a look at the land that we have actually gone and sort of tweaked a little bit. There's more that needs to be done just to smooth it out a bit more, I think. I mean, it does look pretty good here, but like you can see right here, it's sort of produced a little bit of a step up the top. So, despite the fact that I would like to be ploughing in grass, I am going to have to spread out further than what I'm doing at the moment in order to be able to properly level that. It's a little bit unfortunate because it does mean that it sort of spoils the effect a little bit, I feel, but... It is going to be worth it because then we've gotten rid of it all. I am going to spawn more money in. You can see there we've got another stump right there. I'm going to just grind that one off. No, I'm not going to grind it off because this isn't Percy. So I won't attempt to grind that one off. We will just take this stump grinder back and we'll hose it off. And then we'll get that wrapper on and we'll start wrapping these bales up. Yeah, we're definitely going to... I will add more money in to finish doing this job because that's a ridiculous amount of money that we've just gone and spent in order to get rid of tree stumps that we had already gone and gotten rid of. So I was originally thinking that we could do it like this every time because I thought it might be an interesting exercise to go and do it like this. But I think we've effectively proven, having just spent 30 grand and easily probably going to spend another 10 grand on top of that, that it may not be the best way to do it. So in our next episode, I will have a little bit more money available. I'm going to add in another $15,000. And we will use up whatever the $15,000 we need to finish doing that. And if we need more after that, then we will just sort of use up money that we can earn. The reason I want to do it like that is because I would like this exercise to cost us something. Right, we've spent rather a long time doing that, and I do think that this should cost us something, even if it's just to teach us a lesson. And then after that, we can sort of worry about other things. The other thing is, what are we going to do about the ploughing? Now, a subsoiler really would be the best option. I mean, at the moment, we've got a cultivator in here. We've got that one. No, we don't. Which one do we have? Which cultivator have we got? Oh, it's the first one. It is the first one. Cultivators. Yeah, that one there. Look, I was looking at that number. It's that number. That's the one that we've got. We've got a 3-meter one, and it does have like the chisel plow type approach. You know, so that works as a cultivator. I could go with something like that, but that needs 300 horsepower to pull it, which is possibly a little bit excessive. I'd like something wider than 3 meters. So, like, I've got that, but that's not really a plow, is it? It doesn't look so much like a heavy-duty plow for ripping through heavy-duty ground. Now, I could use that one, but again, same issue. It doesn't look very plow-like. So, we go from the cultivators. We could go to the disc harrows, and we could use a disc plow. Disc plowing is definitely a thing. I've had a few people show me some videos, link me some stuff on that. We've got a 5-meter one there. We've got that bad boy right there, which is 6 meters. So I could go with something like that. Again, I'm sort of thinking that they don't seem entirely suitable for the job at hand. So look at subsoilers here. And that one there would be, I think that one sort of looks all right for it. 4 meters wide, that one is, which is pretty good. And then we've also got that one. So you've got the Combi Plow Gold, and you've got that one there. And because we've got the Allow Create Fields, we could use that. This one here is a tad excessive for what we want. Can't really use that one. And then we've got the actual plows over here. That we can't do. We don't have 300 horsepower to pull it. Plus, it's a little bit oversized. You've got this one here, which is part of that Lizard Terror mod thing. 4 meters wide. That is a ripper plow. That one would work. And then there's another plow or two that I've got that might actually be suitable. So I'm not entirely sure. Plowing, I don't want to just run a standard cultivator over the ground and just say, look, yep, it's really easy, we've done it, because that doesn't seem right. That absolutely doesn't seem right at all. It doesn't feel like we've put in enough effort into doing the job. But I don't want a 3... I mean, it might end up being that we're going to have a 3 meter one anyway, because both of these are 3 meters. And they're the most suitable ones if you look at the tines. Other than going and getting one of these. This is 4 meters wide. So maybe we could go and get one of those instead. Get the subsoiler running instead of having the cultivator. And we could use that. So it's a little bit wider. It's not massively, but it is a little bit wider. Maybe that would help. So I'll have a think about that before next episode. There are a couple of other plows that I've got that I haven't actually activated the mods on this map. That could be pretty good. Whether we've got the horsepower to pull them, I'm not entirely sure. But we'll have a look at that. So let me just unfold this bad boy here. He's going to keep going with his baling over there. And we haven't got very much left of that baling. So I'm just going to grab this bale here, because that one's going to be in our way. I'll do the ones down in the yard at the end. And we can start doing a little bit of wrapping while he's finishing up the baling over there. What do we like for silage prices right now? I think we're going to have to... Silage is 195. It's going up, though. It is going up. As long as it reaches 250 by whenever we want it to, then we'll be able to sell the silage, which would be quite a good thing because... I'm wanting to get a new cultivator, and that's going to end up costing us money. I know I'm going to add in another 17 grand. Let me just dump that one down. Drive over that one. There. Right. Oh. Wow. Pushed that one a very long way. Oops. Right, pushed that one a very long way, it did. I didn't think... I suppose, really, it could... Yeah, it would have been underneath the baler, and that's what would have caused it to... Not under the mower, and that's what would have caused it to go a bit funny. Right, I don't want to do that. I need to do that a minute. And then swing it on round. Like that. And then I need to go back to it. Can't hitch at that angle. And we get that baler back on again. A little bit of grass. I'm going to leave the patches of grass lying around. I know that some of you don't particularly like me doing that. But honestly, I think at the moment we could... Like, well, the smaller patches. There's one patch that I do want to take out. And that's this one over here. There's enough grass there, I think, to sort of warrant doing it. So I'll start the baler up and then start the mower up like this. I tell you what I could do is there's actually... Oops. You know what I went and did? I started the baler up and I pressed V and B together, but the baler was already in the down position. That's why it didn't work. But yeah, what I'm thinking here is what I could actually do is use the hired help on this bit. The hired help would do this bit quite nicely. I'll just bring that back up there, and I'll press H. The hired help will go along and mow that piece for me. I'll let him carry on and do that, and we will switch back to you. And we will go and do a little bit more. So just drop that one down there, and then I can run over here and get this one. Somebody asked, where did I get this baler from? This Deutz from. Just do that there. A quick drive-by bale collection. Where did I get it from? Did somebody make this mod specially for me? I'm pretty certain that this one is just one of the standard mods off of ModHub. As far as I know, this is one off of ModHub. If you're on console, you won't be able to. I don't think you can use it. But other than that, yes, you can just use it. It's a standard mod. All I've done is speed up the wrapping time. Right, you go to, I think it's animation speed on the wrapping time in the XML file, and you change the number from 1 to 2, and then you've basically got your wrapping speed has been doubled. It's quite a simple change. You do need to have a little play around with it. As always, if you're playing around with mods and you're tweaking things, make a backup copy of said mod so that you've got the original one there you can go and play with again at some point should you want to. Then take your mod and make a single change to the XML file. Find the bit that you think is the one that you want to change it. You need to unzip the file in order to work on it, and I strongly recommend using Notepad++, I think it's called. It lays everything out in color code, and it's very, very easy to follow and understand what's going on. Make a single change to the XML file, save it, then zip the file back up again, zip the entire mod file back up again, drop that into your mods folder, open up the game, and test it. If that hasn't produced the required result, then you go back. And if it's changed the bit that you wanted to change but not enough, then obviously you can change that number again. If it hasn't, I personally would strongly recommend you change the number that you altered back to its original, and then go and change another number. And keep doing it like that. Just keep altering one number at a time until you start to get things done. Because otherwise you get into a situation that I did with the thingy up there. Hang on, let me just start that one. You get into the situation that I got into with the stump grinder that we've been using, where I made several alterations. And it started working, and it's doing what I wanted it to do, but I reached the point where I'm not sure which of the alterations is the bit that actually caused what I wanted it to do. So, yes, sure, I've got the mod doing what I want it to do, but I'm unsure what it was that I did that made it do that. And because of that, it's not much use. Being able to actually understand what you've done is by far the best thing, because then you're able to go and repeat it, right? If you can get that same result a second time somewhere else on another mod, that's far more useful than just being stuck with a mod that you've altered and thinking, yeah, this is absolutely great, but then you're unable to go and do it again. So if you should lose the mod, you're then back to square one. You've got to go back to all your tweaking and stuff. So yeah, for that reason, I always prefer to, if I can, fully 100% understand why the change has occurred, what exactly I've done to make said change, and so on and so forth. Right, let's just grab that one there. I don't know why it's left that great big patch. I know that we've got the sign there. But it seems a bit odd that it left the patch quite as early as it did. I'm not quite sure about that. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll go and grab that bit there. And, oh, I've got another bale over there. I'll wrap this one right here, and then I'll go and grab the one over that side. As soon as this one's done. There we go, I'll lower that one. So like I said, next episode, I will add in $15,000 so that we can restore the hill to its former glory, although we're not going to have grass around the edges of all of it because of how we're going to have to sort of restore it. We did really, I really did make a terrible mess of that field, and it won't be happening again. We'll make sure that we have a stump grinder that works properly from this point on, I kind of like the idea of it doing a little bit of digging for things, because it's a bit like, you know, you got, it's not stumps, rather you've got great big stones and boulders that are just sticking up and a bit below the surface, and so you have to go and dig those out of the field and deal with those. So that's kind of the situation that I imagined that we were doing. And yeah, it's great and it's fun and it's a nice little bit of additional simulation going on there, but quite honestly, there's a reason that people don't spend a lot of money doing a job like that, because it just doesn't really work. Now, start you there and start that one and take that bit there. I got 3,400, so I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to start it and I'm going to lower it, and I'm going to do a little bit more mowing. Going up this way, like this, until such time as I've completely made the bale that is in the chamber at the moment. We've got a bit of grass down over this way that we can use. And I'm sort of gathering up a bit. So 4,700. There's more grass here, see? I didn't originally want to go over and use this grass, and we've got a little bit more off to our side. But I'd like to just finish the bale that's in the chamber. We've got quite a lot of grass in there. It seems a bit of a shame to waste it, because if we didn't have bigger bales, that would have already made a complete bale. So I can run down through here, gather all of this lot here, so that's going to push us up over 6,000 litres in that bale. There. And now I'll back round and we will do this again. Like that. And up through here. This will probably be everything that we need to do. I am thinking that, you know, when and where are we going to do more tree cutting, more tree felling? When and where are we going to go and cut more trees down? How exactly are we going to be doing it? Well, I know how we're going to be doing it. We're going to be using the Scorpion to do it. That goes without saying. We will definitely be using the Scorpion to do the tree felling. But, no, where are we going to be doing tree felling? I'd like to do a bit back by the farm so that we can create a bigger area back there for potentially putting in some more animals and stuff like that. But, again, it's... I do not have access to this land. Oh, that's the mower bit that's screaming that at me. I've got just enough, I think. If I go up over this way, I should be able to get just enough grass over there to complete this bale. There we go. I'll grab that little bit there. That's 5,800. And then just a little bit of a jaunt along here. And that's everything done. Right, there we go. So we've now got all of those done. I will stop that one and fold it up, and then this one I will stop and I will empty it out like that. So we've got 2 full bales there, and then I will fold it up like this. We'll drive this one back over and we'll leave it next to the pressure washer ready to clean off, and then we'll go and do a little bit more wrapping. We'll be able to finish, I'm hoping, doing all the wrapping tomorrow. I know we still got some patches around. The general feedback I got was that, yes, you know, it's quite good to go and clean everything up. It is quite a good thing to go and clear up all of the grass, but most of you weren't all that concerned about it. Right? It's good to see it being gathered up, but honestly, you'd rather I got on and did the next job rather than spending too much time worrying about gathering all of the bales 100%. So what I'm going to do now is I've switched it to 5 times speed. We're back up to 5 times speed. And we will leave it on 5 times speed. We do have to come through and gather the bale, so we will switch it to 30 times to do that. Yeah, lower you down. We'll switch it over to 30 times speed to do that. We're going to have to redo the field. We've got to remark out the field, although that's not going to be very difficult. We know roughly where it was anyway. And we can mark out the rest of this field here, and then once we've done that, it's a question of then starting to plough the new field. We'll also have to replant this old field. Get that done as well. It's another task on our to-do list. Replant the bit on the side, And obviously, while we're planting, we do change the timescale back down to 1 time speed again. And then we got to plow up this new field. We got a huge, great big field up here that we want to plow. And I'm not 100% sure how we're going to go about doing it yet. Whether we're going to have like a bit of a bend in the field, whether I will just not plow up the bit right at the very top and leave that ready for an animal pen, because we should be seriously thinking about another animal pen. I mean, I'm thinking about more sheep at the moment, and I'm thinking getting more sheep would be a pretty good thing to go and do. We could expand that out. We could get another sheep pen. It would be a big sheep pen. Buying a few more sheep and stuffing them in there would be quite good as well. But at the same time, I would very much like to start working on arable crops, right? We've done a lot of grass, and this is going to stay as grass, so we've still got a lot more grass to do. But I would like to start working towards doing some arable cropping as well. And in order to be able to do arable cropping, we're going to need to get a combine. That's going to be our big thing. We've got most of the rest of it. We are going to need to be able to spread lime on the field. And we're going to need to be able to do weeds as well. But we can leave the weeds. In theory, we could just leave them. We don't have to have a sprayer the first time round. Yes, I know, it does lower the yield. And having the yield affected, both with a lack of lime and with the weeds growing in the field, neither of these are particularly good options. They're not really things that we want to have happening with us. It was another thing that I wanted to check as well. 197 the price of silage is at the moment. So it's still slowly creeping up. I wanted to go soil composition. We made the fields with the cultivator. That doesn't eliminate the need for ploughing. If we're making the field with a subsoiler, will that sort of take care of the ploughing need? I mean, we don't need to worry about it here, but when we do this bit up here and plough that bit up, then yes, that is going to be a thing. Right? We're going to actually have to be concerned about that, because that's one job that we can take care of. Regardless of what happens, we can at least go and do the ploughing up there, and we can take care of that. That's not going to be something that we need to concern ourselves with. We've got a plow. Well, we will have a plow. The subsoiler, if we go and buy the subsoiler, it's 10 grand to buy that one, which we'll be able to get by selling bales. We will have the money to buy the subsoiler, and we've got the tractor over there to pull it as well. So we won't have any issues there at all. And if we really do run shy of cash, we've got plenty of trees kicking around. We can go and harvest a few more trees. We want to harvest more trees out that way so that we can make room for another sheep pen, which will be a large sheep pen this time round. But we haven't filled up the one we've got yet. We need to do that. We'll fill the one we've got, and then we can start working on the next one. And go there. Now, the one thing I'm wondering about the sheep is, what is the fastest way of producing more sheep? We've got a small pen that is filling up, but when we reach 100 sheep in that pen, do we get a faster rate of breeding if we have 50 sheep in each pen? If I was to go and get a large pen, all right, well, what I'm going to do is, the next thing that I would like to get is animal pens in here, right? I would like to get a large sheep pasture. This one will hold 250 sheep. This one down here only holds 80. Oh, I thought it was 100. It only holds 80 sheep. If I was to put 40 sheep in that one and 40 sheep in that one, would they produce sheep faster than if I was to put all 80 sheep in that one over there? Which rate is fastest? If anyone has got a little bit of time, there's a little thing for you to test. I know there's a few of you that like doing this, and then you give me the results on the Discord. So there's a little test for you to run this week if you've got a minute and you'd like to do some testing. Find out what is the fastest rate of producing sheep. We have got right now, with our sheep, we've got 58 sheep. We're on 98% productivity. And when we reach 80 sheep, possibly 75 sheep, I would like to be able to get a new sheep pen. At the moment, we're producing every 17 hours a new sheep. So what is faster? I mean, really, all we'd need to do is grab some sheep and chuck them in the pen. But in order to be able to move them from one pen to the other, I've got to get an animal transport, and I've got to load them out of one pen, and then I've got to move them over into another one. So I can't do that on this map. It's something that needs to be tested. And yes, for those of you who think it's a bit of an unusual thing for me to ask the viewers to do, I do this because there's quite a few viewers that actually like to do these tests. I mention the tests, and then you like to rush off and do them. So that's my test for this week, is what happens with the sheep. I know I can go and test it myself, but this is a chance for you to do it, and then you post the results up on Discord, and I will do my best to remember who it was that did the testing, and I will mention you the next time round. Right. Is that bit done there? That is all the wrapping, and that is all we've got time for as well. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.